you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So children, we were discussing about the properties of force yesterday. Let us continue. Properties of force. Force is a vector quantity. Force is a vector quantity, and yesterday I have told you what is meant by vector quantity. Vector quantities are those quantities which have both magnitude and direction. Okay. So if we are trying to push any object, it is the direction that is required to be mentioned. If suppose we say that we
Good
are
morning, sir.
pushing the car, then other person may ask in which direction you are pushing the car. Okay, so right or left, north, south, east or west. So direction specific. Okay, so vector quantity having both direction, having both magnitude and direction. Okay, magnitude and direction.
Yeah.
Magnitude and direction. Second, we have discussed yesterday that force is additive in nature. Additive in nature, that means, please pay attention, if forces are applied in the same direction, they are added up, they are added up, and if forces act in opposite direction, then net force is the difference between the forces. Difference between, please pay attention, difference between the magnitude of the forces. Difference between the magnitude of the forces concerned. Let me give you one example. Yesterday we have seen that one. Suppose a box is there and two forces are being applied in the same direction. Okay, so net force will be equal to F1 plus F2. Okay, and the box, if it is moving, it will move from left to right. Okay, in the same direction in which the forces are being applied. Okay, children. But if the forces are acting in the different direction, F1 and this is F2. Okay, F1 is acting from left to right and F2 is acting from right to left. Then the net force will be equal to F1 minus F2. Okay, it may be F2 minus F1 or F1 minus F2. Okay, are you getting my point? If
Yes,
F1 is
sir.
greater than F2, then the box will move in which direction? Left to right. And if F2 is greater, then the box will move from right to left. Is it okay? Is it understood? Very good. Well done. So, have you noted, children?
No,
No,
sir,
sir,
please
please
wait.
wait.
Yes, sir.
Please tell me if you have noted so that we can proceed further.
Yes, sir.
Please tell me if you have noted. Noted or not? Okay, note down, please note down. Now I am having the both children. Then, very thing, children. This we will see here. Third one, force comes into play when two bodies interact. Two bodies interact with one another. Interact with one another. Interact with one another. Recall, children. Yesterday we had seen that if two girls are playing by pushing one another, they are applying force to one another. Similarly, when a boy is pulling the rope which has tied a cow, the cow is pulling boy towards itself and the boy is pulling the cow towards himself. Okay, so they are interacting. Okay, understood? Next point. Force can change the state of motion of an object. What does this mean? This means that this means that an object can be moved from rest or can be brought to rest by applying force. See, you can recall the experiences that you come across in the playground. When a footballer kicks the football and the goalkeeper stops it, this means that the footballer has applied force on the football, so it moves from rest, and in turn the goalkeeper stops the let me finish, then I will answer your question, Shubham Kumar. The goalkeeper stops the football. That means he also is applying some force in order to stop the football. Okay. So what is meant by that? That force can bring the object in motion and it can also bring the object at rest from motion. Okay. Now Shubham is asking what is magnitude. Magnitude, please pay attention. Magnitude means the measurement. See, suppose you go to a shop. Shubham, are you listening? Suppose you go to a shop to purchase suppose you are going to purchase a cloth. So what do you say? You say we need 2-meter cloth. Okay. So the measurement includes two things. One is number, that is called magnitude, and the other is unit. Okay, so now this is called magnitude. Shubham, is it clear? Shubham, is it clear or not? Shubham, is it clear or not? Okay, very good. Now, let us continue. Fifth one, force can change the shape of an object. चेंज करते हैं. Yesterday we discussed that when your mother prepares dough to prepare chapati, she kneads the flour and it gives desired shape, isn't it? So these are the properties of force, children. Okay? Have you noted? Have you noted?
No,
or
sir,
not?
not of the second and third point.
Okay, now I'm going to the children. See, this is very, very important. Unit of force. Unit of force, and then we will talk about the uh, laws of motion. Laws of motion. Okay? Unit of force. Unit of force. Can anybody tell me what is the SI unit of force? Can anybody tell me? What
Newton.
is the SI unit?
Newton. Newton.
Shab, you can express your answer in the form of the chat, in the chat box. Kushab, Newton, very good. Newton, very good. Write down. The SI unit of force. The SI unit of force is Newton. Is Newton. Newton. N. Okay. Okay, children. Very good. Well done. Kushal Soel is telling the CGS unit is dyne. Very good. The CGS unit of the CGS unit of force is dyne. Okay, dyne. Very good. Now let us see mathematically what force actually is. What force actually is. Okay. There are three laws of motion given by Isaac Newton. That is why the unit of force is named after his name. After his name. Kushal Soel wants to say something. Yes, yes, Kushal. What is your doubt? Please ask. Kushal. Please write your question here. Write your doubt here so that I can answer. Kushal. Kushal, I am waiting for your question to be typed here. Otherwise, let us move on to the next topic. Very good. Well done. Tejas Chaudhary, very good. Now on laws of motion, we are going to see laws of motion. Laws of motion. Laws of motion. See, let us write Isaac Newton. Sir, he has given the title Sir. Sir Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton proposed three laws of motion. Proposed three laws of motion. Three laws of motion. They are, first, we will discuss one by one. First law. First law of motion. It is also known as law of inertia. Law of inertia. Please try to understand, children. If you have any doubt, you can ask anytime. But listen carefully. See, first law of motion states that if a body is at rest, that body will continue to be at rest unless an external force is applied on it to change its state of rest. Or if the body is in motion, the body will continue to be in motion unless some external force is applied on it to change its state of motion. Okay. Let me first answer to the question asked by Kosar Soel. What is the difference between motion and force? Okay. Force, Kosar Soel, force is the cause that brings a body into motion. Kushal, are you listening? Force is the cause by virtue of which the body performs motion. Motion is the ability of an object to move from one place to the other. This is what we call motion. And motion comes into play only when some force is applied on the body. Now, Kushal, are you satisfied with the answer? Can we proceed further? Okay, very good. Now let us come back to our first law of motion or law of inertia. Inertia, let us write first what is inertia. The property of an object to resist its change in the position of rest or in the motion or in the direction. That is called inertia. Let me tell you one more thing. Inertia पहले लिख लेते हैं. Inertia. Inertia. The property of a body. Property of a body. Of a body. By virtue of which it resists change in its state of rest or state of motion or state of motion in a particular direction. You might not be understanding this thing, let me make it more clear. See, suppose a fan, the blades of the fan, when you switch on, they perform circular motion. They perform what? Circular motion, and it will continue to perform circular motion unless we switch off the fan. Okay. So this means what? It is having the resistance. It is having the resistance towards its state of uniform motion. Another example. Let me give you one more example, children. See. Suppose, please pay attention. This is a very interesting example. When we are traveling in a bus, and the driver suddenly sees a vehicle in front of the bus, what does he do? He applies brakes suddenly. So what happens? Since the lower part of our body, which is attached to the bus, it suddenly comes to rest, but the upper portion of the body, it continues to be in motion. So what happens? We move forward. Are you getting my point or not?
Yes.
Are you getting my point or not? Please tell me. You have to understand the things to do. Okay? So the property of a body by virtue of which it resists change in its state of rest or state of motion in a particular direction is called inertia. please pay attention. And mass is the measure of inertia. Mass is the measure of inertia. I will give you one example. Please pay attention. Mass is the measure of inertia. Measure of inertia. More is the mass. More is the mass. More is the inertia. More is the inertia. Okay. Is it clear? Now, let me give you one more example regarding this. Suppose there is one elephant sitting on the ground and there is one goat sitting on the ground. Are you all listening or not? Are you all listening? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there is an elephant sitting on the ground and there is a goat sitting on the ground. And if we want to make, if we want to remove them from the ground, if we want to make them move from the ground, which animal will be easy to make move? Which animal will be easy to make move? Can you tell me? Which animal? Please type your answer here. Which animal will be easy to? Tejas Chaudhary and Shubham Kumar, that means you are not listening. I have given examples of animals, two animals, that is goat and elephant. I have not given you example of dog or ant, you are telling. Tejas and Shubham, that means you are not listening properly. So goat, Kushag Sohel, it will be easy for you to make elephant move. It will be easy for you to elephant move than goat. Kushag Sohel. What is your problem? You are giving always incorrect answers. Kushag Sohel, I am asking if you want to make both the animals move from the ground, which animal will be moved easily? Is it goat or elephant? Kushag Sohel, goat. Now, but previously you have said elephant. So, what I mean to say is that you will be applying less force to make goat move, but you have to apply more force to make elephant move. What does this mean? This means that goat has less inertia while elephant has more inertia. Is it understood to you? Is it understood? Is it understood or not? Algia Bano, I will give side, but first of all, you understand the things, children. Okay, let us dive. An elephant has more inertia, and elephant has more inertia than a goat. Similarly, please pay attention. Now, let me give you one. Suppose, please pay attention. Suppose, please listen carefully. Listen carefully, everybody. Suppose a car is moving at a speed of 60 km per hour and a truck is also moving at a speed of 60 km per hour. Both of them, they are moving with the same speed, okay? Then, if suddenly some animal comes in front of the car and the truck, and the drivers have to apply brake, then which vehicle will stop quickly? Which vehicle will stop quickly? Please tell me. Car. Very good. That means car will be stopped by applying brakes. Okay, but it will require more force or more application of brakes to stop the truck. Why is it so? Why is it so? Chinmay, why is it so? Why car will be stopped easily than the truck? Please tell me. because truck has more mass and it has more inertia, so it will travel more distance without stopping. It will travel more distance and after that it will be stopped. But car will stop quickly because ar is having less mass and its inertia is less. Okay, very good. Is it understood? Is it understood or not? No, shall I write the board? Similarly, a moving truck has more inertia than moving inertia than a moving car. Okay, still we have not defined first law. Simply we are defining inertia. What is inertia? Now, is it clear? Inertia, the definition of inertia is clear or not, children? Can you tell me now? Yes, Chinmay? Okay, Tejas, very good. So, definition of inertia is clear. Now, let us see what is first law of motion, that is law of inertia. Law of inertia. P. Very, very important. Please pay attention. The state of motion of an object the state of motion of an object will remain unchanged until, please pay attention, an external force is applied on it. Are you understanding? What is this? The state of motion of an object will remain unchanged until an external force is applied. This means that if the body is moving, it will continue to move, and if the body is at rest, it will continue to be at rest unless an external force is applied on it. Okay, is it understood or not? First law of motion, law of inertia. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Or we can also mention in another words we can define this. Please pay attention. A body at rest, please pay attention, at rest continues to be at rest, at rest. A body at rest continues to be at rest until an external force is applied on it. Similarly, please pay attention. Similarly, a moving object will continue to move until or unless an external force is applied on it. Is it understood? Or Now let me give you some examples also. Let me give you some examples. Have all of you noted this? Children, I am asking, have all of you noted this or not?
Sir, 2
Shall I
minutes.
rub the board?
No, sir, 2 minutes.
Shall I rub the board or not? Okay, I am rubbing the board. Listen, let us talk about the applications of first law of motion. See, you might have seen when your mother wants to remove dust from the mat. So what do they do? What she does? She takes the mat like this, okay, and she beats the mat with a stick or something, okay. So what happens, children? When she does this thing, what happens? The mat moves slightly, but the dust particles that are stuck on the mat, they continues to be at rest. So when mat moves, these dust particles which were stick, they tended to be at rest due to their inertia. So they fall down. Have you understood this or not? Have you
Yes,
understood?
sir. Sir.
Is it okay? Okay, very good. Let us see. Applications of first law of motion. Applications of first law of motion. Children, are you finding it interesting or not? Laws of motion. Are you finding interesting?
Yes, sir.
Can anybody give me one more example of first law of motion? Can anybody? Applications of first law of motion. Applications of first law of motion. Of first law of motion. Applications of first law of motion. See. First is dusting a mat. When a mat is beaten using a stick, the mat moves, but the dust particles continue to be at rest, continue to be at rest due to their inertia of rest. Okay, so dust particles fall down. Fall down, leaving surface of the mat. Okay, any problem? Any problem with this? Very good. Shubham Kumar, very good. Next is second one. Children. When driver of a bus applies brake suddenly suddenly the passengers fall in forward direction, forward direction, fall in forward direction because, please pay attention, because the lower part of the body, lower part of passengers bodies keep the lower part of the body come to rest with the bus, but please mention, but upper part of their bodies, upper part of their bodies continue to be in motion, so they fall in forward direction. Are you getting my point? These two examples suggest that first law of motion. Okay? Now, is it understood to everyone? Have you noted, children? Please note down. And
Yes,
now it is
sir.
the time to conclude our class. And in the next class, we shall continue to learn about the laws of motion. First law we have seen already. Now we will see second law of motion and third law of motion in the coming classes. Okay?
Okay, sir.
And children,